Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the breakfast show. Now, first thing, let me apologize for the Wednesday, the cancellation of our breakfast show because there was some medical attention that I need to attend to in the morning. So I will be well and healthy and fit to report to you what's happening in the KLSE as well as all the global event when the market opens this morning in here. Of course, on Wednesday night, for those of you who joined us, we did do a very good energy sector coverage. Make sure you check it out, that video which has already been archived in the YouTube channel. But let's go on to what we have for you in here, and do appreciate if you could share this video in your timeline. And of course, we have more to come on our KLSE headline. Let's look at what we have for you this morning. And of course, today is Friday and tomorrow will be our special Zoom session in here. More information I will disclose at the end of the talk in here. But more importantly, right now, let's look at where are the market, and we're going to be looking at the premium stage 2 intraday shares that we talk about normally on Friday. These are for advanced trader in here, and let's look at what we have this morning on our headlines. And of course, in our breakfast show in here, we'll be focusing mainly on intraday charts. On our Bursa morning headlines, it's no other than CPO prices. That's right, we have CPO prices hitting new high. I think many of you know about that already, which we already hit 5,000 in here. But let's look at the market where we are, and let me just switch on to the Trade VSA website chart, and of course you can go on to it. So right now, just on top of me here, you could see there is a double top formation at 1600, and this morning, and I think the market is also correcting. Let's scroll down here and check out whether the market is correcting in here. And yeah, it's just up 2%. Mainly all of them are green. We got the big one, Gentings are up, RHB up, just Hata is down 2% in here. But the plantation stock continue to do well, and the Maybank Research has a report here to retain a very positive call that however, for those of you who are intent to go into the plantation sector, make sure this note is because the high prices of CPO which we experienced since way back in 2008, first time, which has been almost 13 years. I still remember in 2008 I was a CPO trader trading at that time. Life does pass by very quick, and we are looking at 5,000 after 13 years. So on this note, the CPO prices is unsustainable due to the very wide discount that is, and also to sustain the demand. The demand hasn't come in yet. On the post Deepavali, the likelihood of the demand would also drop, and also take note of the planting season crop. So all this on the fundamental reason is only pointing that likelihood that this market cannot sustain. But chart wise is going higher, so those of you who trading charts, please take note, this could be only short term, but on the longer term it may not. Now let's look at also on our next headline, which is the so-called subsidiary of public bank LPI, London Pacific Insurance Company, recording third quarter net profit of 105, which is 22.3% higher than previously 86.1 million in the quarter, and underpinned by strong underwriting results from insurance unit and higher dividend. So let's take a look at switching to a wider chart here, and let's take a look at the LPI this morning. So we just did a breakfast reporting just now, so let's type in LPI and London Pacific. It is a very good dividend player, more targeted for those who looking for yield, dividend yield are meant. And you could see from here, chart wise it did gap down, but it's moving back into the old high. Let me just pinch this up on my phone, and you could see this very nicely, just short of $14. Hasn't done green pentagon yet, but I do think the 13 ringgit 80 cent, 13 ringgit 90 cent support that you see over this side, it's well supported for that manner. Okay, so that's something good to know for those of you who like this stock in here. Continue under the leadership of Tan Sri Teng Hong Piao here, and let me just make this a bit smaller, and we'll do pretty good. Let's move on to our next news. Now our next news will focus on advanced con. Again, the economy reopening, a lot is turning attention to construction company, and in this filing they bagged a smaller contract about 16.9 million on the ECRL. So let's look at advanced con this morning here. So let's type ADV, ADV con. Okay, so we click on that one, and that takes us to the chart. Yes, a green pentagon just appeared, coincide with this, and if you notice, this is already the 4th day after green pentagon. So that's why we always know before the project comes up, you can see very classical pattern. Let me switch to a wider chart here, and you could see here we got spring and all the nice accumulation in here. So take note, always pay attention to green pentagon in here. Let's move on to our next news. Now next news is also another construction bagging in 258 million projects in here. This got to do with the construction of main building in Plantong, Johor. Alright, so with the note from the management, in this case Kejaya CEO T Eng Tiong, contributed even at challenging times, COVID-19, the group managed to secure almost 907.6 million of contracts so far this year alone, and they are looking to bag in a further to get about 1 billion. So looking pretty good, and that's what explains this chart going on. Now of course the construction can be very cyclical, and we have seen this before when projects been loosened out, but I think at this space you will see on the chart wise, on a shorter term 3-month basis, we already have a support. Of course the bigger chart, we can use the weekly chart, will be on the trading view and the plugin, something that really good to have. All right, so let's take a look at our next news that we have, and focusing on the US market. That's right, now US has a euphoria day, and all the earnings, bond yield did drop. That's what we saw, the tech sector rally. And let me just go on to S&P 500 here, and you could see that's right, it hasn't turned green pentagon yet on S&P 500, but let's look at the others. S&P 500 here, and you could see yesterday we have some big gainer. Most active usually are Bank of America. Now take note, the bank stocks are rallying now, so Malaysia akan datang soon. So this is where I tell everyone early in the morning, just take a look at what is really moving. And previously we were ahead 2 weeks when we saw the energy sector move first in US, then only it come to Malaysia. So that's where I want all the public who is listening now in here to take note. Now we are getting the banking stocks to move up, so I do think in the coming weeks or days we will have banking stock moving up. You can see Bank of America, click on that one, you would definitely see the stock. Did we have the green pentagon or not? And that's how you want to stay ahead of the curve. A very simple way of looking at things. Of course, those of you who wanted more definitely can go on to the trading view plug-in inside there. But having taken note, the US market seems to may have completed its correction that we've seen on the double bottom on the US side, and now may see an uptick for the year-end rally which is happening now. So ladies and gentlemen, this is the part where you need to get ready for the year-end rally, and this rally would come. So you hear it first on the Breakfast Show. Now let's move on to our next news, and energy stocks continue to pile up, and more are looking at, but take note, beware of the good news. Always on good news, we will see many profit taking in here. So a lot of the sectors. So what we want to do in here, switching to a wider chart, okay, and okay, oops, sorry about that. Let me just switch back to the chart here on the US market. And what you want to do is to switch on to the US market here, right, and go on to Robie chart and look at the sectors, the hot sectors. Okay, the hot sector right now you can see is energy. That's right, energy, and it's the same thing also in Malaysia. So there is, so this is the one that you really want to narrow down and pick up those. Of course, many of these already run. That's why we talk about on Wednesday using the KLSE sector index to have the first mover advantage, where you can see which one is about to move higher. Right, the whole point is having some sort of screener or tool to detect it. By the time you detect it, everybody talking on newspaper, it's profit taking. Don't be a fool, don't be a blur. Okay, so take note of it definitely. But whether this continuation of the trend that we see on the energy stocks, will it continue to go up? So check out some of the stocks inside here. You do notice on top of me here, many of the Pentagon positive flow is already about 90%, 80%. There may be some in this list in here that will be not in there, but also extend over to the sectors that we have on our sector screener in the KLSE, and you're able to find a few more over there. All right, now let's go to the Singapore side, and the stock in talk in here is the Keppel DC REITs. Okay, so the Keppel DC REITs, so switch over to SGX, right, and we go on Robie chart here, and switching to a wider chart. Oops, I don't know why this morning. Okay, here. And hot sectors, that's right. No, let's switch over to STI this morning in here, and you can see the market for the Singapore market, it's hitting. Now Malaysia was very fast, it hit the double top very quickly, so there's this chart in here will continue to make up. So the stock in play we're going to talk about is Keppel DC REIT, which is a data centered stocks inside here. So Keppel DC REIT, so they put DC and REITs, yeah, ABJU. Okay, so that's the one which is it's been down for some time, so it's making up an uptick in here. So this is the one in here, Keppel REITs. Keppel DC REITs. It's been down for -7% in here. So who knows? With the tech sector rally, so keep an eye on these stocks in here. We may come back and review this overall, but overall the SGX has certainly recovered. Some of the tech stocks are playing up, but the energy stocks, again in Malaysia, in Singapore and in US, all has moved up in tandem with the overall market in here. And if you do enjoy and learn something this morning here, give me a thumbs up in here, so we will work harder for you. Now going forward, the leaderboard of the past trade, you can always check out some of the trades that's done pretty well in here. And if you go over to our here to our Trade VSA website here, you could see some of the big winners has been Green Pentagon, and also check out the RHP Jewel that you see in here. Many of this are coming up very, very nicely in here. And BHP, Opcon, 140% return. There are some smaller one here, Pinepex, which is about 38% return, and that came in on 19th of August. Now take note, some of these stocks may take some time to run. Determine the strategy that you want to trade, whether it is short term or not, and give it time to run in here. It's also important to study this on our website in here. Make sure you log in tradevsa.com and check out some of this information. You can see that Hibiscus came out, Green Pentagon, on the 24th of August, and some of these GR, you can check it out also below in here, that pretty similar, tell you what they have in here. Okay, more of that in our plugin in our traders dashboard. And check it out, our trader dashboard, we are very excited. We are launching the new facelift look on the 6th of November, and some of you may already starting using a free trial in here. If you're interested in the free trial, do let us know. There's a contact number on the bottom of the screen in here, and we can definitely make arrangement for that one. So let's move on to the stocks we talked about last week, which is HP Global. Now if you look back at HP Global last week, this was where we were. Unfortunately, as soon as the climatic volume came in, there were immediate profit taking that we've seen so far. Let's take a look at the stocks that we have in here. Bring it down and bring up the charts. Okay, that's HP Global. So if you look at the hourly chart last week, we were somewhere around here. Yep, that's right. So let me just refresh this. You can see in the morning it hits, and then on the 11th October, another hit. That was a double bottom, and then the market had no demand. Remember, no demand. It's a very powerful trade where there were no demand at the top, just at the double top, in then the market came in. Now still supported in here. So this may just reaccumulate for waiting for another period. So smart money already taken some profit in here on the disguise of the climatic volume in here. The trouble is a lot of these intraday trades that you do, many of them trade on volume. So when the volume comes in, you need to come in a bit even earlier, right? So definitely a real-time basis will help you more using the trading view in here. Don't be penny wise pound foolish, because SMARTRobie takes about half an hour. If you need another one, go in and check that one out. All right, so this is what I mean here. So let's go on to our next stocks that we are looking at for the intraday will be Golden Ferrous. Okay, so Golden Ferrous GPH came out this morning in our, all right, let's take a look at our Golden Ferrous in here and bring up the charts. Okay, so Golden Ferrous has already picked up more. We picked it up just now at 9:30. You can see it continued to run. So this was this bar here. You can see, right, this bar here. So this morning, if you got in, you could be already in the money. Another perhaps about 2% in here. So let's look at the weekly chart first. All right, weekly chart is still down. No, weekly chart is up. It's just that a lot of this big move is moving up in here. You can see this is overall weekly chart. Okay, we can write weekly chart trending up. Okay, weekly chart is trending up. Let's switch over to the daily chart. So now we can see daily chart turn green pentagon on the 7th of October. Okay, on 7th of October. 7th October turn green pentagon. Okay, now let's switch over to hourly chart. Hourly chart, it has been green pentagon for some time, so take note of it. Okay, now also very cautiously, if you need to know, is that this green pentagon first time breaking out of the big moving average in here. So take note of this one in here. So every time when you break out, there may be a chance this market will pull back in here. We've seen this a lot, many times in here. So definitely now this is turning up here. So a very nice one. So let's go over green pentagon. Just finish this statement here. Indication, yes, green pentagon. And of course, if you had gone in much earlier on the green pentagon, this chart, you already been in here. Yeah, you'll probably be in the money about 7 or 8% in here. So important price level. So this is where we turn our attention to SMARTRobie here. And switching to, okay, switching back to Malaysia. KLSE, and looking Robie charts, this is where we have Golden Ferrous. Okay, so Golden Ferrous, let's look at the trading plan. So trading plan here, we have R1 40 cent already hit already, right? Yeah, 40 cent already taken out already, you can see. R1 at 40 cent hit. Okay, what's the next one? Next one is just above me is R2 at 0.55 cents. Okay, why the market can move higher? We have very ultra high volume, so we need to be careful. Now for beginners, don't do this trade. So if you are advanced trader, you need to have a real time, because you need to see the chart whether you will pull back or not. Okay, so this is not for the beginner. Many times I said before. Let's look at the support. Okay, so support, we'll switch over to the exit strategy. Okay, exit strategy in here, and you have S1, which is 32 cents. That's about 13% away, just on top of me here, and you have 30 cent 19, but we can use the weekly 34 cents. Okay, so if you do break out, and likelihood the market may break back into this, so you can see 37 cents. Okay, 37 cents 75 is the weekly. And usually if you are advanced trader, in that sense, if this market cannot rally within tomorrow, you need to exit, because this is playing on the momentum it is. Else, it's going to be like last week, HP Global, an attempt to distribute on high volume. Take note of it. So let's take a look at the high resistance that we have here, which is 55 cents, I think. So this is just finishes off of resistance. And what we have here is 0.55. And trending period, if you notice trending period for the 1 hour chart is almost over. Okay. Now this is good, because for 1 hour chart, if you notice the period, just an estimation in here in terms of the spacing, it's about, let's go over to trading view here, switch to hourly chart. Right, we're going to be measuring the hourly. You can see here, from here to here, now what we do is take this. Yeah, that's right. That's why you need trading view. You can see this was 49 bars and 12 days. So here, okay, 9 days. It's about the same. So what we're saying here, we are coming to a tipping point. Either this continue or it's going to come back. Pretty interesting to see. So it's either going to push up or it's going to come back down again. So we're going to be keeping an eye on this in here and perhaps take a look at it. So that's what we have for you. And let me just save this first for the golden Ferrous, for the advanced trading plan in here. And we're going to move on to the other segment. Now, just an update, our portfolio finally has made some good innings. Remember, last year in 2020, our backtesting project has given us 106% return from in here. But so far, the market hasn't been fantastic great, but we still beat the KLCI, which is around minus 2 to 3% in here, with our portfolio at 12,000 real money, real portfolio in here. One of the reasons why we do so, because we invest in the knowledge, we find a system that works. We also invest in the community, bringing a lot more coaches to help you out in here. It's been always part of what we do in Trade VSA in here. And also the real money, real trading in here. You could see the last few trades, Hyaptek is up 12%, Pestec at about 18%, and TN Logistic, which Logistic has done pretty well, but just that Tiongnan Logistic has been experiencing profit taking. That's the one didn't do so well. So let's see whether we will hit our profit target of 30% for this one, and then we will cool off with a 2,000 ringgit real money, real trading in here to showcase to you that Pentagon Guider does work if you do follow it. Now, I'm just going to be asking you, how has your portfolio been doing for the entire year from in here? Do you experience any drawdown? Let us know. Type it on the right hand side and be happy to know that. And of course, our new facelift for our trader dashboard for our Trade VSA continue to be updated. That is available right now. Those of you who are interested to purchase it, installment plan are available in here with a lot of video tutorial and also member session too in here. And don't forget, this Saturday there is the Zoom code right at the below there, registered for our multi-bagger stock. This is pure fundamental investing, as I said before in here. We will discuss some of the case study that we have for the sumo and perhaps revision of what we have previously that we talked about from last year. And also next week will be the Art of War, Sun Tzu versus Warren Buffett. So getting pretty exciting in here. And don't forget to share our Telegram chat room, our stock in here. And for those of you who have not subscribed, you can follow some of our archive live video that we did on Wednesday, which is the energy sectors on the YouTube channel in here. And right now we're going to be doing some stock review that you all have. Of course, if you are from the public, do let me know you're for fashion, and if you're top fans, you get free stock review in here, and for members will be unlimited. Okay, so let me know what are your stocks you want me to look at. I'll be happy to look at them for you. So just pencil them in and I'll be happy to look at your stocks. All right. If there is none, then I will see you tomorrow at what's the time tomorrow? I still can't remember. I have to go back to this. At 2 p.m. That's right. At 2 p.m. for our Zoom session in here. Thank you for coming and thank you for sharing. So I do hope that you will give us the good word out in there and how we are able to help you to achieve wealth building. Coming up now, one of the things that we are planning for another workshop, which is on the mid of November on wealth building for 2022. So make sure you check that one out. We're going to be releasing more details how you can participate in this workshop in here absolutely for you. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.